Hello there, Tuppence fans, and welcome to our Tuppence tip video featuring our 20 most lucrative hints and tips for being successful at the arcades. And for your pleasure only, we'll throw in a few bonus hints and tips as well. We hope to teach you our ways and the things we've learned since becoming expert Tuppencers. By simply watching this video, you will become much more of a proficient Tuppencer, winning more prizes and potentially more money as well, which is what we want for our Tuppence fans. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and scribble a comment below and maybe let us know the tips you'd have for us and for other Tuppence fans in our community. Please enjoy. So our first Tuppence tip is to rapid fire. Rapid firing helps because it equals the distribution of coins dropped when it falls off the precipice. It also makes prize winning much quicker, but depends on what you're there for. If you're there for a good time and a long time, then take your time putting the tuppences in. But if you're there simply to win prizes as quickly as you can, go for it, rapid fire, put in as many 2p's as you can in short succession. But be careful, make sure there's a plastic bar there which will even the tuppences out as they drop on the ledge. If not, you'll get a pile up of money, and when the money eventually falls, it won't drop evenly, so you'll be wasting your tuppences. Our second tip is avoid going to the arcades early. If you turn up at 10 AM when most arcades open, a lot of the prizes aren't perched upon the precipice because tuppences haven't pushed them forward throughout the day. Also, during the night, the tuppence operators, the staff, will push the prizes back and even the money out. So, avoid going early in the day. If possible, go later at night. If you watched our California vlog, you'd have already be aware of that hint. Tuppence tip number 3 is to look at the trays. By the trays, we mean where the money lands. Quite often, when people haven't been on a machine for a while, simple gravity and force means pennies drop into the tray. Make the most of it and pick them up if you see it. So make sure you keep your eyes down when you're walking. But this brings us on to our second point, where it's good to work in pairs. Working in pairs, like me and my tuppence brother, allows me to look for the best machine while he walks around and looks for money in trays. But it's also good to work in pairs, so when you need more money or you need to go and fetch the mister or the attendant if a prize gets stuck, someone can protect the machine, make sure no one goes on it, while the other person goes off and collects the money or gets the attendant. At number 5 is don't go for money. Linked into our number 6 hint of to know why you're actually at the tuppences. Are you there to have a good time? Are you there to win prizes? Are you there to make a profit? You're very rarely going to make a profit at the arcade, so don't go for money on the edge. Always make sure you go for a prize if that's what you're after, and you'll have the best tuppence experience if you put these two hints together. So jump into number 7 is a machine called the errus. The errus are a special type of machine where the money, the 2p's, often get caught while falling down. So if you put your hand in and curl your fingers up onto the ledge, you'll find often 2p's have been stuck there. If you do this on a 10p machine, you're in for a big profit. They're very iconic, these machines, and hopefully the videos we're showing show you the machines which this is doable on. Our 8th tip for you is, from a tuppence perspective, stay on the 2p machines. Don't be tempted to go onto the 10p machines or any other type. You're just going to be losing more money. And ultimately for us, it's 2p machines is what we enjoy. But if you particularly enjoy going on the claw grabbers, if you enjoy going on the shooting games or anything else, then do that. But for us, 2p machines is very inexpensive and we get the most joy out of it. So do what you enjoy is at number 8. Tuppence tip number 9 is to, when putting your 2p's in, use both sides, or if the coin entrance is at the top of the machine, use multiple holes. This will allow you to equal out the distribution of force when the 2p's are pushed over the edge. And if your prize is on the far right hand side, putting your tuppence in on the left hand side isn't always going to be the most beneficiary. But this is partly dependent on the distribution of coins on the surface of the arcade. Jumping up in at number 10, we're going to get quite technical now, and this links to the multiple holes. Tuppence in, 2p pushers, there's a lot of physics involved. There's a lot of pushing, there's a lot of weight, there's a lot of angles, there's a lot going on. But in at number 10, it's weight distribution. If the coins are very heavy in the middle, the coins are going to push outwards. This is sometimes to your benefit because you've got a prize towards the edge on either side. It might push well, but ultimately your coins are going to go down either side. If it's weighty on the left and the right, the coins are going to push well through the middle. That's our tip at number 10. At number 11, it's the coin angle. Very similar to weight distribution. Don't go on a machine which has too many coins. And you'll often see machines with too many coins is because they're starting to get stuck and they'll start to angle upwards, meaning they're not pushing forwards, they're pushing upwards, which ultimately means you're not going to get a return. So next, as we've already previously kind of mentioned, it's the coin weight. So by this, you're looking for a machine which, when it falls off the ledge after it's pushed, you want it quite flat there so that there's no coins piled up and the force isn't going to be spread off in multiple directions. What you're looking for is a nice thick layer on the edge, on the precipice. So when that thin layer pushes, it's pushing multiple coins over the edge. That would be a big benefit to when you're aiming for prizes at the same time. In at number 13, just know what you're after. This mainly refers to us and whether you're after prizes or if you're after tickets. Don't always spend all your money on ticket machines if you're not aiming for a decent prize on them. And do remember, you need a lot of tickets to be able to get a prize, which is why we personally don't often tend to go for tickets. Our tips 14 and 15 are very linked. Make sure you set yourself a budget and make sure you know when to stop. Setting yourself a budget means go in and say, no, you're not spending any more than, say, £5. I think that's a reasonable amount to spend on a good hour's worth of entertainment at the arcades, on the tuppences. But then know when to stop, and know when to stop on certain machines. Don't keep going because of a bit of money on the edge, and don't keep going if there's better machines around. Our 16th tip is to test the machines by putting a few 2p's in to see if it pushes. But eventually you need to commit to a machine. You can't keep going around putting the odd 2p in. But make sure you play the field. That is our key tip to finding the best machine. I'm sure you're aware of a common trick, hopefully some of you experienced tuppences might be, where actually the coins on the ledge and on the precipice are actually trapped under a metal piece of material. They often do this with £5 notes on the very edge of 2p machines, which can't be pushed because it's actually under the layer of 2p's which are being pushed, and it's trapped in between some metal material and some 2p's themselves. A very conful activity. Linked to that previous note at 18, we've got don't go for £5 notes. If you see them rolled up in like a cuboid, they're often very hard to win and will often roll back and don't push forward because they're so light. Occasionally, yes, you can find the odd £5, like our win at Galston, which was on top of an octopus, but because it was on top of the octopus, it managed to push forwards. So yeah, don't always be lured in by the arcade traps. Tuppence tip number 19. If the prize is touching the glass as it's leaning over the precipice, it's won. The mister, the attendant, will happily give you the prize if it's touching the glass. So there you go, guys. Get your prizes. Link to that, number 20. Don't be scared to ask the attendants to get the prizes out. Don't be timid. They do it for everyone. All the time prizes are getting stuck, especially as the prizes are much bigger than they used to be in the past. So yeah, make sure you're not scared to ask for help. And that's our final major tip. We have, however, got 5 bonus tips for you. Ones which aren't quite linked to actually improving your tuppence in, but will benefit the people around you and yourselves. So our 21st tip is to enjoy the local delicacies. If you go into the seaside, have your fish and chips, have your donuts, have your ice cream. Make the most of it. Maybe go out exploring the local area as well. And make sure you try the tasty food. In at 22, linked to trying the tasty food, is wash your hands. After you've been touching all those 2Ps which multiple people have had their hands on over the years, they're pretty grubby, pretty grimy. Make sure you wash your hands after going to the arcades, an absolute essential. At number 23, check your 2Ps. You never know if you got a rare one, and the amount of 2Ps you'll come across when tuppence in is exponential. So make sure you check them to see if you've got a rare find. Don't do this all the time. It can be quite time consuming. Our 24th vlog, and our favourite tip of all, is share your tickets, your unwanted tickets, and maybe your prizes with young children. We know when we was younger, we used to fight over the odd 2P which would fall in the tray from a distance and was race after it, and whoever didn't get it was often in a bit of a mardy. So yeah, we've in the past, when we've won tickets we've never wanted, passed them on to children who are young, and they will appreciate it so much, and you'll make their day. Especially if you get a prize which you don't want, please pass it on to them. Our final tip: watch our location vlogs to find the best arcades and to find out how we tuppence on a day-to-day basis. You might be going on holiday to, for instance, the Norfolk coast, but where are the best arcade locations that can only be found on our location vlogs on our channel? And to make sure you keep watching them, subscribe to the channel. We've got more than just the tips. We've got location vlogs from all over the country, machine reviews, and soon to come, hopefully, some ranking tier lists, as well as an exponential amount of other ideas to come. Thank you, tuppencers. We hope you enjoyed our tuppence and tips. Go out into the wider world and show us how much you've improved. Thank you.